Hey friends, how you doing? So if you know me and the type of books that I like, I love when there's an expanded universe throughout a comic company. My favorite comic books this year have been the Spawn books. We're talking about Spawn, King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, The Scorched, Salmon Twitch Case Files, because they're all different, but there's a continuity and an intertangling of all of these books in the same universe. And I do complain a little bit about Marvel and a lot of their selections, but I am a huge fan of Spider Woman. And what they're doing right now with the new champions is so paying off to my Spider Woman fandom. If you go back maybe half a year on my channel, you will see a review I did of Spider Woman number 9 from this summer, I believe, and the title page is "Who is the Assembly?" And that whole run was about Spider Woman trying to find out what Hydra did to her son Jerry. They had taken him, aged him up, and took advantage of his superpowers and turned him against her. And so, in going to San Francisco to kind of trace Hydra's steps, she found a group called the Assembly, a young group of superheroes who patrolled the streets of San Francisco, and she found out that they were part of this program, and she was able to free them from Hydra and set them on a new course. And one of the last lines that she said to them was, "The world's always going to need new champions." And I thought to myself, like, oh, yes, that means the champions are coming back. The Assembly are going to be the champions. And then I heard nothing about it. And so I saw this, the new champions, not even really thinking about that loose thread there. I was more thinking about the champions that I read before with Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel and that whole group. But this is straight out of that Wonder Woman from 2024, number 7 through number 9. And not only that, it also ties together with the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider anthology from earlier this year in a fun way. And we bring in Spider Boy and a lot of the younger Marvel characters, this next generation of champions slash Avengers. It starts off with, a robbery of some, seemingly low level thugs. I've never heard of them, but they're not so important to the story. They are fodder for the new champions to make their introduction to us. And as they are breaking up this robbery, they have the big hero shot right here. There are new champions in town. And then you go to the next page, and as they are apprehending these guys, you meet them. There's Moon Squire, and tells you about his abilities. He absorbs light and makes bad guys go night night. Liberty, a beacon of hope, and hard light constructs. Cadet Marvel, jet powered punches, fuel injected attitude, and Hellrune, mystery spear, mystery spells, mystery origin. Now this picks up after they're reunited with their families and how they're trying to adjust to being superheroes and integrating back into regular society. And I mean, the big issue is that when they were taken, their family's memory and everybody they knew, their memories were wiped from them. And so Jerry, he didn't know that Spider Woman was his mother. They didn't know, so it was like it was almost like being told that a stranger is your child. And so we have these new yet, understandably strained relationships. And Hellrune, she doesn't even have that. She is with foster parents who are good people, but she is really going through a hard time. And she uses her magic to track down any relative, which leads into a trap, which seems to really kick off the actual story of this group. And I'm not going to give a blow by blow, but via this interaction, when she calls for help, she ends up summoning a lot of these younger heroes. And very excitingly for me, what was her name? Phantasma. Yes, Phantasma, Spirit of Vigilance, probably. And she was introduced in the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider special from 2024. I enjoyed that so much I bought 2 copies. But she is like a Ghost Rider on roller skates. Very interesting. And Spider-Man gets involved as well too. And then after the main story, we go to the end of the book where it recaps for you. If you didn't happen to read Spider-Woman, it recaps that whole story arc, how the assembly, came together with Spider-Woman and became the new champions. And this is, I'm very excited for this. We met these characters and the Spider-Woman, and I really dug them, and I wanted to see more of them, and Marvel did not disappoint. So we're going to be getting these guys. We got Phantasma here on the cover, as well as a few other people who didn't make that big of an impression in this, but it's going to be a good sized team up and set up the next generation of champions and Avengers. So I would definitely suggest checking this out. It was a fun read. There was lots of action. There were some more dramatic moments, but nothing too heavy. It was lighthearted, and it had the same feel as the old Champion books did, but with fresh new characters and fresh new relationships and conflicts and different variables. So I highly suggest it, and hopefully we'll get some more, appearances of one of my favorites, Spider-Woman here, and other familiar faces. Being that they are working in the same area as the new West Coast Avengers, which I actually did a review of. I'm not sure if this is going to come out before this review or after, but it's going to be within a few days of this review. So we may get some crossover even with the West Coast Avengers. So you guys be easy. Check out New Champions at your local comic book store. And if you do not have a local comic book store, I always suggest my friends over at Coffee and a Comic. They're out of Huntington Beach. But if you're not in Huntington Beach like I'm not, I get mine shipped out to me. They ship nationwide. They have great deals on shipping. And they ship everything safe and secure, rain, snow, or shine. And if you want to see for yourself, tune in at 3 p.m. Mountain Time to my weekly unboxings on Wednesdays, right here on this channel. So I'll see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I am out.